What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
I had some worries regarding what had become of the Wisdom King Raphael, following Ciel's birth. I had no reason to stop Ciel from optimizing the stack of skills it had saved. I see no issue because we are not currently engaged in combat.
Alright, then I'll let you handle it. Oh my, wait.
Got it. It will be put into action right now.
It was already too late when I opened my mouth to say, wait. I was, in retrospect, a man who committed errors on a regular basis, constantly ignoring the repercussions and then regretting it. Why was granting permission so simple? I should not have let it go without realizing the awful changes it would bring about. But Ciel, who was ready, went ahead and started the skill alteration as soon as he could, most likely thinking that I would try to abort it. The outcome was Ciel humming and acting deaf while employing the "there's no way to stop it already" strategy. Giving approval without paying attention, and then making hurried attempts to stop things afterward. That was exactly what Ciel had envisioned. It agreed quickly and submerged itself in the transition. I simply waited in that frozen status, and with tremendous momentum. Ciel didn't even respond because it was too preoccupied with its task. Oh my, I thought I would be shocked by the stuttering results once more, so I felt resigned. Either way, I couldn't get anywhere with filing my paperwork without Ciel. I opted to work on something different after having a change of heart. I made the decision to hold private sessions with the executives while Ciel was preoccupied with its job. There was just me in the room for the time being after Xian and Diablo were ejected when I told them about it. Xian also had to make sure her men were okay and had left without raising any issues. Diablo caused more issues. He was quite pushy, suggesting that I required an escort, but in the end, I finally told him,
Depending on the results of these meetings, I'm considering dismissing you from your position as secretary. Isn't Testarossa attractive, powerful, and qualified for the position? After all, I believe that being an escort and a secretary both require strength.
A half-hearted threat like that had him running away in a panic. I was not going to do that, but he was such an easy man to deal with. By this point, he was presumably desperately trying to start a fight with the evolved Testarossa. Even though it is unlikely that Diablo would lose, it would be an entertaining match. It's healthy to occasionally feel threatened since facing defeat is therapeutic. I then started making use of the time to conduct the interviews. I requested Shuna's assistance in organizing the schedule. After it started to become dark, the people who were free started getting called to my room, one after the other. Beretta was the first. He was the first to get the call because I had promised to speak with him earlier. The first and final spots in these types of interviews always resulted in the most stress, but being the first seems to be seen as the most honorable in this country. Although I couldn't exactly figure out why, Beretta seemed genuinely delighted about it, so that seemed to be the case.
Regarding your problems, you shouldn't be concerned about losing this time. Since you prevented the opposition from achieving their goal, this should really be viewed as a triumph.
This can only be considered a major victory as nobody has been killed. I was sure of this when I stated it, but Beretta didn't seem thrilled.
I know what you're saying, but a loss is a loss nonetheless. It is intolerable for us black dependents to lose.
Is it still regarded as a loss for Beretta personally, even if everyone accepts that their side has won? Beretta and Cherries are both far too serious. If I were in charge, I would be praising the outcome as a huge win. Even an indirect triumph is welcome as long as it makes me happy, no matter how minor. By the way, the dependents of black are a bloodline of demons. It was only recently that I discovered Beretta was a black dependent demon with Diablo, the primordial black, noir. In some ways, their craziness was indeed extremely similar. I could understand, for example, why they both detested losing. Thus, I could appreciate Beretta's annoyance. Having said that, though, there was nothing I could do. As a prize for conquering the war, I had my minions awakened, but that was only made possible by the Demon Lord Seed and the Soul Corridor that linked them to me. Did Beretta fulfill those prerequisites?
It's fine.
Whoa, I was scared by that. Though Ciel was preoccupied with its own tasks, it appeared to have been keeping an ear on our conversation as well. It might also assist me with my papers if such were the case.
There are enough souls here to awaken one person. How would you like to proceed?
You've strayed from the story once more, don't you think? Before evolving, weren't things a little better?
Negative. There is no evidence to support such a claim.
Don't just act like you're downgrading and cheating. However, if such is indeed the case, it appears that additional souls were obtained during the battle with the Imperial Army. Beretta's wishes might come true if those were put to use. Although Beretta has obviously been working very hard, I haven't given him anything. Since Beretta is now under Ramirez's authority, I was a little hesitant to give him the incentive, but Beretta is also a valuable friend. There was, after all, the crucial task of defending Ramirez. In order to express my appreciation for his continued support, I decided to alleviate Beretta of his concerns. Naturally, there was only so much I could do. Henceforth, it would be his responsibility to make the necessary effort.
I can see why you're disappointed in your lack of skill. Because of this, I shall bestow upon you more power.
I rose from my seat, made a demon lord gesture, and extended my hand to Beretta.
Remember that I am only able to assist you. From now on, everything is up to you.
I then carried out the evolutionary ritual on Beretta using the 100,000 souls. He could no longer evolve on his own because I was the one who named him, thus perhaps this was required to atone for that karmically.
No way.
Beretta, you're going to evolve immediately. Kindly keep guarding Ramirez.
Though somewhat shocked, the evolution went smoothly, and unlike the other members of Diablo's tribe, it did not send him to sleep. Regarding the outcome of this evolution, name: Beretta, 1,978,743 EP. Race: Greater Chaos Spirit. Metalloid Chaos. Blessing: Blessing in the Labyrinth. Title: Defender of Ramirez. Magic: Dark Magic. Skill: Ultimate Skill, Divine Machine King Deus Ex Machina. Resistance: Nullification of physical attacks, nullification of abnormal conditions, nullification of mental attacks, nullification of natural effects, and resistance against wholly demonic attacks. It was. Beretta's body has changed to become Heirikane, the ultimate metal. This was on par with a mythical grade level, therefore it was understandable that Beretta's existence value was substantially elevated. EP was the existence value, by the way. Instead of energy point, it stood for existence point. Although it was in English, that wasn't a big deal. Adamantite, the initial material, absorbed the enormous quantity of magicules that Beretta had leaked, leading to this outcome. The most crucial skill appears to have been acquired at the expense of the unique skill, Double Crosser. In order to obtain the ultimate skill, Divine Machine King, Deus Ex Machina. Thought Acceleration, Universal Perception, Demon Lord Hockey, Mineral Domination, Geological Manipulation, Inverted Fusion, Spatial Manipulation, and Multi-Layer Barrier were among all of them.
I put in a lot of work.
Oh, I appreciate all of your effort.
Instead, I should say that you're constantly aware of what piques your curiosity, don't you? I suppose you won't overlook your own interests even though my skills are important. It appears that you have also tampered with his skills. I couldn't help but think so because it was so in line with CL's approach. Well, forget about that for a second. Instead, Beretta is truly remarkable. He can now generate and control minerals at will by fusing his newly acquired abilities of mineral domination and earth attribute manipulation. He would require supplies, but within the labyrinth is a magical steel vault. A certain number of minerals can also be obtained because the labyrinth is in contact with the earth. It appears that he evolved his own body into Heirikane in order to obtain this power. Maybe the power to control the elements? Metal could be readily bent into any shape. Any armor unbolstered by aura or magic would be of no use to Beretta, who could accomplish anything he pleased regardless of hardness. The ability for Beretta to freely transform her own body at will was much more terrifying than that. Naturally, Beretta wouldn't be able to use most weapons, and he might even turn into one of those obstinate fluid metal people you see in movies. It was scary to think about him approaching stealthily like a slime, entangling his opponent, and smothering them. Beretta's normal form was that of a superior humanoid doll with spherical joints, but one must exercise caution because his essence differs from his appearance. Beretta thus evolved into a terrifying metallic life form, a subtype of spiritual life forms. Despite the fact that I had constructed the doll on a whim, it has truly evolved to this point. Beretta knelt before me while he made these observations and wallowed in such feelings.
I will always be grateful for what Sir Rimuru did for me. I will follow your instructions and see them through even if it means losing my life.
He promised to carry it out. I wanted to advise him not to overdo it, but if Ramirez was ever in danger, that could never happen. Even though there would be more difficult battles to come, I have no doubt that Beretta will live up to my expectations. I was also glad that Beretta was watching over Ramirez.
I am depending on you.
I nodded to Beretta as I stated this. That solved Beretta's problems. Very nicely done. I instructed Beretta to return to his post after getting some rest. As I waited for the next interviewer to show up, I started to consider my skills. A question had come to me because of what I had learned from the recent Evolution Festival and my experiences fighting the strong individuals of the Empire. The foundations of skills are the power ingrained in the soul and the laws of this world. The voice of the world may bestow it during a period of consistent practice or noteworthy accomplishments. I hadn't given it much attention until recently, but it was a peculiar occurrence. That's how I'd always approached it, but as things happened, the question became one I could not ignore. Put another way, what exactly is a skill? This was the question. I had a unique skill when I initially entered this realm. Alternatively put, as I was dying in the other world, I had been listening to Voice of the World. It follows from the fact that a skill is not exclusive to this world. If that were the case, answering the question would become even more challenging. Moreover, I couldn't help but wonder if there were any individuals in my original world who were able to use skills. At first, it was believed that only heroes could obtain a unique skill. The adjective, unique, suggested that these abilities were performed differently by each individual and that they were extremely powerful. It allowed people to express their wishes and grant them the ability to carry them out. In my situation, I had Predator and Great Sage, but I didn't want Great Sage, which was a humorous story.
How rude. I am here because Sir Rimuru desired my presence.
Huh? No. I believe the main reason was that I was a virgin and wanted.
Oh, never mind. Maybe, deep down, that's what I longed for, if that's what Seal said. Let's just leave it at that because it was a bit risky to delve any farther into that subject. Now, let's get back to the subject at hand. This implies that while skills are essentially derived from the soul, there are situations in which they are not. Acquired skills at the pinnacle of physical training could be inscribed on the body rather than the soul. This is particularly true for monster skills, which are frequently obtained just by eating them. We refer to these skills as race-intrinsic skills. Every race belonging to the same sort possessed an innate ability that could be inherited by subsequent generations. The most you could expect if you sought to acquire a skill by rigorous training was an extra one. What was more significant was after obtaining it. You might hold a formidable force if you could improve your proficiency with that ability or even combine it with your sword skills to make unique moves. All the spells I had learned and absorbed proved that magic was also a form of skill.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Chris Guzman, Havox, Speed Saber, Arijit Das, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Misael W. Hernandez, Zach Rossan, Jarius Ladek, Alfonso Smith, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, John Charles, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Andre L. Hamilton, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Thomas, J, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, Aaron Alarcon, DeAndre Nance, James Waters, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Luis Caro, Yuki Iki, Pedro Robles, Chris Jr., Isaac, Koala King 93, Little 95, Coyote de Peza, Quilly Buckner, Zephyras, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J Rule, Sayonori, Liron Sangkap, Jason Martin, Christopher Mash, Echo Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Charles Bailey, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Nick H, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sesh, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Derihas Jackson Early, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Nasir, Mam Wang Min, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Aditya Vyas, Hansel Ortega, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Bismarck Munoz, Arion Booker, Kamal Luke, Wei Jun, Alvin Quarty, Stone Larone, Steven, Mose Chaudhary, Jacob, MTU STP. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.